Hello, and welcome to Simple English Talk, where we help you improve your English through stories, conversations, and lessons that inspire your mind and heart. Today, we're going to explore the real story of Valentine's Day, a tale of courage, love, and the quiet power of human connection. As we dive into the story, you'll not only learn new words and expressions, but also practice listening, speaking, and understanding English in a way that connects with your emotions and imagination. Make sure to follow my channel so you never miss a lesson that can help you improve your English fluency while exploring stories full of meaning and reflection. The story of Valentine's Day stretches far beyond the colorful cards, bouquets, and sweet treats that fill stores each February. Its true origins are hidden in the quiet corners of history, in moments of courage and conviction that demand reflection. Long before hearts and roses symbolized love, there lived a man named Valentine, a priest in ancient Rome, whose life was entwined with a society that often demanded conformity above conscience. The emperor at that time, consumed by the pursuit of military power, forbade young men from marrying. He believed that attachments of the heart would weaken their commitment as soldiers, that love would distract them from duty and honor. Yet Valentine, with a heart attuned to the subtleties of human need, perceived love as the sacred force that transcended rules and fear. It was not a frivolous indulgence or a fleeting emotion. It was a commitment to hope, a recognition of the human spirit's capacity to endure, to connect, to defy injustice. Secretly, Valentine married couples, performing quiet ceremonies under the shadow of possible punishment. Each act of kindness carried the weight of profound risk, for discovery could mean imprisonment or death. Picture him moving through dimly lit streets, whispering sacred vows that bound hearts together, fully aware that each word could lead to his own suffering. There is something deeply human in this courage, a quiet insistence that love, true love, is worth protecting, worth fighting for. His story reminds us that history is often shaped not only by empires and laws, but by small, brave acts of devotion. For learners of English, this narrative offers more than words. It is a bridge to understanding emotion, context, and the subtleties of human experience embedded in language. Each sentence in the story carries layers of meaning. The verbs, the imagery, the rhythm of each phrase mirror the tension and hope of Valentine's life. When listening or reading, allow yourself to feel the anticipation and the fear, the compassion and the courage. Recognize that language is not merely a tool for communication, but a vessel for experience, a way to carry emotion across time. Every word Valentine might have spoken in those hidden chambers reflects the quiet strength of those who act with conscience, even in the face of overwhelming authority. By immersing yourself in these words, you not only learn English, you learn to perceive stories, emotions, and history as intertwined forces that shape the human heart. Valentine's journey was never simple, never meant to follow the easy path of comfort or safety. Once the emperor discovered his secret, Valentine's world shifted abruptly, from the quiet bravery of hidden ceremonies to the cold walls of imprisonment. Imagine the heavy silence of a Roman cell, the chill of stone pressing against skin, the loneliness of knowing that freedom could be taken at any moment. It is in this solitude that his true trials began. Not through battle or external force, but through the quiet challenge of preserving hope when darkness presses from every side. Within those walls, life became a test of endurance, of spirit, and of unwavering devotion to the ideals he held sacred. In the midst of this confinement, a young woman appeared, a figure of light in the shadow of his punishment. Perhaps she was the jailer's daughter, curious and gentle, who visited the prisoner with kindness and compassion. She listened, she spoke, and in her presence the harshness of imprisonment softened, revealing that even in the depths of despair, human connection could shine. It was during these moments that Valentine wrote letters to her, letters that carried his heart onto paper, signed simply, "From your Valentine." Each word contained courage, each phrase a testament to the strength required to express love, while knowing the world outside was unforgiving. Through language, he bridged the distance between isolation and companionship, creating a lifeline that defied the cold, unyielding walls around him. For learners of English, this story illustrates how words can hold power far beyond their letters. Verbs can carry action, nouns can hold emotion, and carefully chosen sentences can convey sincerity, longing, and courage. As you read or listen, imagine the weight behind each phrase. Think of Valentine sitting in his cell, quill in hand, knowing that these words might never be delivered, yet choosing to write them anyway. In that choice lies a lesson. Language itself can be an act of resistance, an expression of humanity, and a refuge in moments of fear. Every letter he wrote, every expression of hope and tenderness, is an invitation to reflect on the way words connect us. Even in isolation, Valentine's words reached another person's heart, and through time, they reach ours. Practicing English through such stories becomes more than vocabulary and grammar. It becomes a meditation on meaning, on intention, and on the human spirit. Each sentence you hear or repeat carries not just information, but emotion, courage, and a silent rebellion against despair. Valentine's trial reminds us that the act of speaking or writing with sincerity is itself a brave and transformative endeavor. Centuries flowed quietly, carrying Valentine's story from the hidden corners of Roman history into the hearts of people across time. What began as an intimate act of courage, a priest marrying young couples in secret, slowly transformed into something far greater. Valentine's defiance, once dangerous and private, became a symbol that transcended his own life, a representation of love's enduring power. From the simple exchange of handwritten notes to the elaborate printing of cards and the flourish of public declarations, Valentine's name grew beyond the confines of history books, entering the living traditions of communities around the world. Each act, once small and singular, contributed to a cultural tapestry that celebrated devotion, care, and the human need to express affection. This transformation offers a profound lesson on the ripple effect of small actions. One individual, acting with conviction and heart, can inspire generations long after their own life has ended. The courage to act in secret, to prioritize love over obedience, created waves that shaped social rituals and communal practices centuries later. This is not merely a story of historical evolution. It is a meditation on how human intention, when guided by empathy and conviction, extends far beyond the moment it occurs. For learners of English, observing this transformation is an invitation to reflect on how words, ideas, and expressions evolve. Phrases that may have once carried private meanings, intended for a single person or moment, can eventually become widely shared, understood, and cherished across cultures. Language itself becomes alive, moving from the personal to the universal. Listening closely to this evolution can enhance both understanding and fluency. Notice how sentences carry rhythm, how verbs and adjectives build imagery that evokes emotion, how ideas unfold across time. By paying attention to the cadence of storytelling, learners can perceive not only meaning, but nuance, tone, and context, elements that make language rich and expressive. The story of Valentine's transformation reminds us that language is both a mirror and a vessel. It preserves history, conveys sentiment, and bridges generations. Each word, carefully chosen over centuries, continues to shape the way we express love today. As you engage with this story, consider the broader implications. Cultural rituals, like Valentine's Day, are not arbitrary. They are the crystallization of countless small choices, each one rooted in courage, kindness, and the desire to connect. Every card you send, every message you write, carries echoes of the past and adds to the ongoing story. In studying these words, learners of English gain more than vocabulary. They gain insight into human experience, into the flow of time, and into the power of expression to unite people across eras and geographies. Today, Valentine's Day is recognized across the world with bright displays of gifts, flowers, chocolates, and cards. Stores fill with color, and society reminds us to celebrate love. Yet beneath this commercial layer lies a story far deeper and more enduring than any candy or bouquet. At its core, Valentine's story reminds us that love is not simply a fleeting feeling, a spontaneous emotion that appears and disappears. It is a choice, an intentional act that requires courage, patience, and attentiveness. Modern celebrations may distract us with surface gestures, but when we pause and reflect, we can see the same principles that guided Valentine's centuries ago still apply today. Love requires commitment, understanding, and the willingness to act despite fear or uncertainty. In the context of learning English, this story can become more than historical reflection. It can be a tool for fluency and emotional connection with language. As you read or listen to the words, allow each sentence to guide your voice, shaping tone, stress, and rhythm with intention. Imagine narrating Valentine's story to a friend or a loved one, letting your pronunciation carry the weight of courage, the subtlety of hope, and the gentle persistence of care. In practicing this way, language becomes a living experience, an interaction between the story and your own understanding, rather than a mere exercise in vocabulary or grammar. Each phrase offers rhythm and emotion, and through repetition, your fluency grows while your empathy strengthens. Valentine's story in modern times also reminds us that love is never passive. Beyond chocolates and cards, it is expressed through listening, understanding, and thoughtful actions. Each small gesture, when guided by awareness, can mirror the bravery Valentine demonstrated, turning ordinary days into moments of significance. By connecting language learning with the reflections of human experience, you train your mind to perceive not only words, but meaning, intention, and emotion. English becomes not just a tool for communication, but a bridge to human insight, allowing you to experience the story in layers: historical, emotional, and personal. Take a moment to consider how Valentine's courage echoes today. Every act of kindness, every patient conversation, and every careful word carries traces of that same bravery. The holiday, when understood beyond the surface, invites us to examine how we express care, how we act with intention, and how we honor human connection. By practicing English through these reflections, you strengthen not only your fluency, but also your capacity to understand emotion, nuance, and subtlety in storytelling. Language and life intertwine, teaching us that courage and love can coexist in every word, every sentence, and every choice we make. The real story of Valentine's Day is far more than the romantic gestures we see today. Beyond the flowers, the chocolates, and the cards lies a quiet narrative of courage, compassion, and the subtle ways one life can shape many others. Valentine's actions remind us that bravery is not always loud or dramatic. It often exists in small, deliberate choices. The decision to act with integrity, to preserve hope, and to nurture connection even when the world seems indifferent. Every act, every word, and every sentence can carry the same potential. They can build bridges, foster understanding, and leave echoes that extend far beyond the moment in which they are spoken or written. For learners of English, this perspective transforms the process of language learning into something more than repetition or memorization. It becomes an exercise in empathy, in attentiveness, and in the careful crafting of thought into expression. As you listen to Valentine's story and repeat his words, notice how language mirrors life itself. There's patience in the pauses, rhythm in the arrangement of ideas, and subtle beauty in the choices made to convey meaning. Consider how a single word, chosen with intention, can comfort, inspire, or provoke reflection. English is not just a system of grammar and vocabulary. It is a living instrument through which human emotion and intention can be shared across time and space. Each sentence you read or hear carries not only a literal meaning, but also a resonance of thought and feeling. Internalizing these sentences allows you to cultivate not only fluency, but also sensitivity to nuance and emotional depth, qualities that make language truly powerful. Valentine's courage and empathy offer guidance for your own life. Imagine how his quiet determination might inspire you in your everyday actions. The patience to listen, the courage to speak truth, and the choice to act with kindness, even when it is inconvenient or risky. In practicing English through this story, you are also practicing presence, mindfulness, and thoughtful expression. Each repetition, each engagement with the words, strengthens both your skill and your awareness, linking linguistic proficiency with personal growth. Through this lens, learning English becomes a practice of reflection. Stories like Valentine's invite you to consider not only the words, but the ideas behind them, to connect with emotion, history, and moral insight. Language becomes a pathway to understanding the human experience, a way to connect with others, and a mirror for your own intentions. By listening deeply, speaking deliberately, and contemplating these lessons, every sentence becomes a step toward fluency and wisdom, every word a chance to act with care and courage, and every story a reminder that small, faithful acts of love can quietly shape the world. Thank you for listening to the real story of Valentine's Day. I hope this story has inspired you, not only in your English learning journey, but also in the way you see courage, kindness, and connection in your own life. Remember, every word you speak, read, or write can carry meaning and change the world in small but powerful ways. If you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to follow my channel, Simple English Talk, to continue improving your English through stories, conversations, and motivational lessons that touch the heart and mind.